How well do the people in your organization work together? Today, I'm discussing group process, what it is, and the skills needed in the workforce today.
Welcome to our Tiger Success Series webcast today. We share leadership training that builds trust, interdependence, genuineness, empathy, risk, and success in the workplace. Here's our host, Diane Crampton.
Welcome to our conversation today. Today, I'm discussing group process and why it is so important to forging accountability and how people work together in engaged, quality-focused, collaborative, and humanly satisfying ways. So let's start out with what group process is. Group process is how all the employees in your organization work together to get things done. For example, do you get things done through competitive operations with executives directing you and everyone else on what to work on? Or are the employees in your organization empowered to interject their ideas into how they work together so organizational goals roll out more smoothly in a work community that is helpful, quality focused, cooperative, productive, and highly engaged? These are two very different ways of working together. For example, from the top down and directed management perspective, considerable attention is given to establishing goals and achieving them. Rightfully so. Your organization would collapse if you couldn't get things done through the people you hire. Then, to expedite things, you receive the goals from your executives for your employees to carry out. Then, metrics and KPIs are applied. If goal achievement is too slow, then pressure is put on managers, who in turn put more pressure on employees. The human side of how people work together, however, often results in spending a great deal of time, resources, and human energy to achieve them. So, for some managers in the top down directed organization, getting work done and goals achieved feels like the constant pounding of a square peg into a round hole. I hear things like, why do I have to babysit employees day in and day out? And why can't they just get things done and do what they're told? The obvious solution, which is developing employees with the skills and attitudes to help one another achieve those goals, is brushed aside. So, why is the importance of employee-centered group process significant to forging employee accountability for wanting to achieve those goals while working well with others to get things done? Well, true success is achieved when the work side of operations is balanced with the skilled side of human operations. And I'm emphasizing skilled side of human operations here because training in skills that improve how employees work together has dropped off sharply in the last 20 years, maybe even more. In some organizations, it is completely non existent. Understanding the human to human skills people need to work together cooperatively, to collaborate and achieve goals with quality, and a felt sense of personal satisfaction is where the world of work is headed as work becomes more automated. Typically, organizations spend a great deal of time and energy establishing and striving to reach goals, but give little consideration to what's happening between and to work's greatest resource, employees. Early on in my career, I wanted to know what makes work groups high functioning, quality focused, productive, cooperative, and successful. And I qualified success to mean that not only was work being achieved efficiently, employees accomplishing the work had a felt sense of personal satisfaction. And I studied all the available group dynamic research in education, psychology, and business. And out of this emerged 6 principles that are required of all high performance teams, group process, and the qualities skilled leaders bring to the table. The 6 principles are trust, interdependence, genuineness, empathy, risk resolution, and success. Twice vetted for reliability and validity in measuring the quality of the 6 principles in group behavior, the 6 principles form the acronym TIGERS. They also contribute to the group norms and behaviors necessary for keeping how people work together high functioning, friendly, and fun. When employee input is requested to establish what employees need to operate in trustworthy, interdependent, genuine, empathetic, risk resolving, and successful ways, you get an employee's attention. The caveat is if employees consider their leaders and their organization to be trustworthy. So, as a manager, if you are moving toward more employee empowered operations, your first course of action is to understand the trust level of the employees you lead, both toward you as a manager, as well as the trustworthiness of your work culture and operations. Then, when employee ideas are adopted, there is more employee ownership of them. It is the ownership of decisions like these that opens the door for all employees to be accountable for them and for maintaining them. Then it falls to leaders like you to tend the boundaries of those decisions. No more square pegs and round hole pounding. Employee monitoring activities transform into more employee guiding and development activities. So, what group process skills are needed the most today? The good news is that effective group process can be broken down into defined skill sets. This makes achieving effective group process and defined leadership skills predictable and measurable. It also is a great way to prepare your high potential employees for supervisory and management roles before they are put into a position to lead. So, the skill set categories for effective group process include problem solving, decision making, conflict resolution and management, communication, group and personal boundary management. These are the skills that employees who want to be accountable desire to master. These are the skills that serve your organization and every aspect of a person's life. Employees who want to be accountable tend to be more entrepreneurial, high potential, and desire connections and emotional attachments to the organizations, such as a felt sense of belonging. They have bought into your mission and vision for why you exist. Now, here's the irony. In a recent New York Times article by Sydney Ember and Ben Castleman, the reporters write, for nearly 2 years, companies have complained that they are caught in an unending cycle of hiring and training workers only to see them leave in a matter of weeks or months. Constant recruiting and training drains management resources, and new hires often do not stick around long enough for that investment to pay off. Veteran employees are often asked to pick up the slack, leading to burnout. The work training examples addressed in the article involve training and how to operate a machine or existing tech. Nothing on how to problem solve, make decisions with accountable outcomes, resolve conflict with others, communicate for mutual understanding, whether you agree or not, or establishing boundaries. Perhaps in their executive mindset, hard skills to run machinery, for example, is more important than how employees work together more cooperatively and effectively. The bottom line is that they are not doing either of those two things, and they hire and lose people quickly. The results of how people work together training or soft skill training on an organizational's cost savings and productivity improvements, including profit, however, is measurable. This is because you can track cost savings and productivity improvements in your organization's bottom line. And this is true whether your organization is top down and directed or team based and collaborative. For example, after the rollout of leadership training that involved group process leadership skill development, one organization we served saved thousands of dollars in risk management operation. It seems that when leadership group process skills improve and employees are involved in group process behavior decisions, employees get hurt and sick less. Employees aren't distracted by their own anger or disgust or feelings of disrespect at how they were treated and can focus on what they are doing more. They also tend to stick around. Adding to the irony is lack of focus on organizational culture. Even though culture transformation can be sensible and easy to roll out one great cross functional team at a time, the leaders of top down and directed organizations are afraid that if they invest time and resources and training on group process skills, employees will leave. They don't want to see employees to leave after training them, but workforce researchers report that the majority of employees stay and the benefits outweigh the loss incurred by an employee resigning to work in an organization willing to train and develop them in trustworthy, interdependent, genuine, empathetic, risk resolving, and successful ways. So, where can you go from here? Here are some resources to consider in digging deeper into the Tiger Six principles and effective group process. And I have put the links to these resources in the comments below. The first is a complimentary webinar on the Tiger Six principles. You learn about the six principles, diagnose how to correct team performance issues, and discover why agile teams' efforts fail when improved collaboration is your goal. The second is a complimentary group process webinar on leading accountable decision making. You learn 3 strategies for improving accountability in group decision making that can be taken into planning and successful plan execution. The third is a leadership course entitled Tiger Six Principles Leadership Fundamentals. This course helps you stop mid-career turnover. Research reveals that when employees collaborate, they work on an average 15% faster, 73% do better work, and 56% are more engaged. So you learn the skills and strategies to get similar results. And there is SHRM recertification credits with this course if that is important to you. If you have a takeaway, add it to the comments below and give us a like. Be sure to share this video with your tribe. And if you want notification of our next video, do subscribe. Until next time, here is to your ongoing success, and I will see you soon.